It is Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and tonight we're kicking off our series Culture Conversations with a look at the representation revolution happening in Hollywood. And it's not just happening on screen, it's also being powered by those behind the camera. So ABC's Juju Chang went behind the scenes with the director and writers of a film that could be this summer's breakout comedy.
It was a breakthrough night for Asian Americans in Hollywood.
And the Oscar goes to Everything Everywhere. Everything Everywhere.
Everything Everywhere.
Asian Americans seem to be doing everything everywhere in entertainment all at once. And much of this revolution on screen is being powered off screen by Asian American women. And this summer, fasten your seatbelts for Joyride, directed by Adele Lim.
I love a grand adventure.
Joyride is hangover meets girls trip meets bridesmaids. My friends and I just wanted to tell a story about four thirsty, messy, ridiculous friends going out there and living their best lives.
And everyone can see themselves in these women, which is hilarious.
Everyone has that friend who's like, seemingly doing well and trying too hard, but there's a super freak in there waiting to get out. Like
You've met my friends.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, this is an insane, fun comedy, and at its heart, it's just like it's got this universal truth and a real lovely heart about belonging. And I think, regardless of who you are, every one of us can relate to, at some point in our lives, like not feeling like we belonged and not feeling like there was a place for us. And at the end of the day, finding our people is what tells us we belong, and that's really what our movie is about.
You know who can bypass airport security? K-pop stars.
In writing the movie, we weren't ever like, oh, we're gonna break stereotypes. We were just like, we're gonna write a movie that we think our friends would like to watch, or that we would have liked to watch when we were growing up. So we weren't ever like, oh, we need to make sure that people know that Asians are funny. We just wanted to be funny ourselves and make our friends laugh.
And was the goal to push the envelope, be a little spicy?
I think the goal was to entertain ourselves.
Yeah.
And because of who we are, it ended up being a little spicy.
I am a good girl saving myself for marriage.
What was it like watching their chemistry and watching them bring your characters to life?
I think we're excited too. Like, we are leads in a movie. We have story arcs. Like, our characters develop over the course of a thing.
Instead of being the sidekick.
Instead of being the sidekick. And we all lived in the same building while we were filming, and were there noise complaints because people were having too much fun in each other's rooms? Absolutely. And that was also a joy to watch.
Joyride is Lim's debut in the director's chair.
There's been a lot of talk for years now about Asian American representation on screen. How important is it to be behind screen as well, sitting in that chair?
It's everything. For the longest time, our stories were told by other people who didn't really understand our culture, did not walk in our shoes. And it is kind of gross to have the only depictions of yourselves be as someone else's sexual perverted fantasy, or, to be someone with a dragon lady with an accent. And it becomes part of this cycle where the larger society, that's all they see of you and your culture.
You've been quoted as saying that sometimes Asian stories were treated as the soy sauce on the entree and not really the entree.
Yeah, that you're viewed as more of like an exotic seasoning than somebody or a character that people could view as the hero of the story. I think the landscape in Hollywood is so much more exciting right now because we're just open to all kinds of different stories and voices out there.
Lim worked on hit TV shows for 17 years before her big film break, co-writing the game-changing blockbuster Crazy Rich Asians.
March. We've been dating for over a year now, and I think it's about time people met my beautiful girlfriend.
But she made headlines, walking away from the highly anticipated sequel rather than be paid a fraction of what her white male co-writer was offered.
What was your reaction once you discovered how severe the disparity was?
Well, to be honest, rage, really. And I felt like for me to accept something so much less than what I knew was my true value was somehow doing a disservice to everything this movie had achieved. We exist at the intersection of being female and a person of color in an industry that is very sort of white male dominated. And There are systemic explanations for this. There have not been a lot of Asian female screenwriters who've been able to command that level, to be able to exist and operate at a certain level.
Lim, who was born in Malaysia, moved on to co-write Disney's Raya and the Last Dragon.
My name is Raya.
Inspired by the cultures of Southeast Asia.
And for you to be able to breathe life into that Disney princess, what does that feel like?
I'm gonna cry. What it feels like is that it feels like you're seen. I'm a mother of a Southeast Asian girl, and for her to be able to grow up seeing that there is a Disney princess that looks like her, it was an unbelievable experience.
Do you feel like Asian Americans and Asian American women specifically are having a moment in Hollywood?
I think so. I mean, I never want to say it because then it feels real, and then you never want to like think that, oh, we're just like a trend that like all of a sudden we're gonna go away, like we're like high-waisted jeans or something. It's like, no, we're here to stay, and we deserve our moment.
If we call it a moment, but we just want it to become the first in a series of an infinite number of moments.
Does a raunchy comedy represent progress in Hollywood with 4 Asian American women centered at it?
1,000%. Absolutely. I want like an Asian Bob's Burgers, an Asian Family Guy. I want all of it for us.
Our thanks to Juju for that. Joyride will be released in theaters nationwide July 7th. And you can see more of our Culture Conversation series in the coming weeks and a full special airing May 24th.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.